A few weeks back I did a review on Dinnerly, and the reason I was pretty excited about Dinnerly is it is only $4.99 per meal, and I thought that was pretty inexpensive, so we did a complete unboxing of the contents. We took a look inside to see how well they packed it, to see if it would actually make it in a hot environment, and they did a pretty good job. And in my comments and in the messages that I got off that video, somebody recommended EveryPlate because they also have a $4.99 meal. So I thought we would go ahead, place an order. We ordered 3 meals, just as we have done with every unboxing and review of these types of companies. And we're going to take a look inside, see how well they packaged it, and see if it is worth it. So if you look at the box, it's just a standard box. They have comforting, craveable, familiar, delicious, and worth it on the bottom. And that's what we're going to find out. Is this package worth it or not? So I'm always concerned on how well these are packaged, mainly because we live in an area that gets a lot of heat in the summer and a lot of cold in the winter. So it needs to be insulated really well to make sure this thing can survive sitting on a porch for hours on end, or sitting in a shipping truck for who knows how long in what kind of environment. They usually ship them overnight, so they're usually only out and about for one night, and they normally put large amounts of ice in them. So that's what we're expecting. So right off the top here we have some menus, calorie content and nutritional information. That's kind of nice. Cooking instructions on the back of the menus, and they look to be pretty detailed enough. Packaging looks okay. It's basically like a bubble wrap type mailer, so there's some insulation. Not as good as we've seen before on some of the other shipping companies, but probably adequate. Contents look okay. So we're going to unpack these contents. We'll paint over the top of them, see how well they look. I do want to point something out. I've pulled all the produce off the top of the bag, and if you look down inside the box, you can see that there is our ice pack. And our ice pack is still frozen. It's very large, so the insulation did its job. Now, it's been pretty cool out. It's been in the 40s and 50s. It hasn't been a hot day, but I still think in the middle of summer, in the middle of July, I think it probably would hold up pretty well. We've seen this type of packaging done before, and the way they have this packed is exceptionally important, and I want to show you why. Underneath the meat, okay, is another ice pack. So 2 very large ice packs in this box, and actually I'm going to be kind of surprised to show you something else. There's a 3rd ice pack in the very, very bottom. So this absolutely would have held up very well in higher temperature areas such as Florida, or even in the middle of Ohio on a July or August day. Your meat and produce would hold up just fine. The 3 meals that we did order was a steakhouse burger, a chicken fajita rice bowl, and a steak dish with a bedding of kale, which looks pretty good. Now let's take a look at the contents. We'll see what they look like. Now, as with my other videos, I like to lay the contents out in columns, such as you see here. In the very first column is the chicken fajita rice bowl. The second column here is the steakhouse burger. And the third column is the steak on kale. And we'll just paint over the contents, and you can see that the produce and everything looks really good. Even the meat looks good. The chicken looks great. The ground beef looks fine. The beef sirloin steak, it looks okay. The kale looks really fresh and green. The buns are nice and soft. None of these are hard. And the produce looks really good. As with all of my videos, if I could find a link to save you some money, check down below in the description below. Take a look at some of my other videos. You might find something that you may like. I'm typically a do-it-yourself type channel, so you might find something you might want to make, but I do occasionally do some reviews such as this one.